Hi, greetings in the name of the Lord. It's Priya, and it's a breezy, sunny day here as opposed to the romantic, cloudy night last night. And we will continue on relationships. But before we talk about relationships, just think about main meals and desserts. When do you crave for a dessert? Do you have desserts every day? Can you rely on desserts? Of course, I'm not very much a sweet tooth person, but I love a little dessert or something sweet after a nice savory meal. Um, However, for some people may be able to eat a dessert instead of a main meal. But you can maybe do it once or twice. For those who have sugar cravings, they may be able to do it more, but it does have its repercussions on the body. Too much of sugar makes you get tired, diabetes, and the body starts wearing out. So it's not good for you, even if you can do that. Indulge in desserts as opposed to main meals. The main meal is what gives you the substance. Yes, you can fast and pray for a time in a season, but it's the main meals that keeps you going on to give you the energy as the body keeps burning it. And often in life, we treat relationships like the dessert. Especially if you're in a courting relationship, just think back as to how your partner is treating you. Is he or she taking you for granted and taking you like a dessert, coming to savor you or approaching you when he or she feels like a sugar craving, a just an extra in life to give some fun or enjoyment? Or are they seeing you as a staple diet that is compulsory for their daily life thing? It doesn't mean 24 hours you cling on to that person because you're not going to be eating 24 hours. Well, if you're like me, you'll be snacking all the time. But hey, that's not the point here. The main meal is what gives the substance, and so, if you are being treated like a dessert, is this a foundation for a good marriage? Because a marriage needs communication, it needs togetherness. God has created Eve from Adam, saying that it's not good for man to be alone. That's why he created Adam first, to show that he was alone, to show that all these animals and creatures around him were not comparable helpers. But it took Eve to step in to be that comparable helper. It's not above him, not below him, but alongside with him. And it's important because it's not because they do not complement us or we complete them. I mean, they complement us, not complete them. And likewise with God, are you treating God as a dessert of your life, where you run to Him when you feel low or when you're in a high of praise that comes from your lips but not really from your heart? Or is He your staple main meal? Is He the bread of life? Often people go to Him only when they need Him and they're like, Lord, why? Why am I suffering? Why am I going through these troubles? Why me? But have you been thinking maybe God is also waiting to embrace you and have that intimacy with you? Isn't that after all why He sent Jesus Christ to the cross? Who sacrificed his one and only son because he's longing for that intimacy. And intimacy doesn't happen when you have a dessert once in a while. Intimacy happens on a regular basis. It's a conscious decision. So whether it's with your marriage partner or with the partner that you're dating, and even with friendships, you can't take things for granted. It's going to have its sticky repercussions and it's going to wear you out. And it's going to wear the individual out. We have become an individualistic society, but that's not how God created us. God created us to be in community, for togetherness, to look out for one another. It's not about us, and selfish ambition, greed are all part of this acts of the sinful nature. If they are parts of the lust of the flesh, yes, selfish ambition is as well. And people don't talk about that. They're more they divert it to other kind of sins, but this is equally a sin. And God has created us to help one another, to be there for one another, to work together as a body of Christ. So are you going to look at your diet, not only of your physical diet, but your relationship diet, especially with that of God? Because unless you have that right relationship with God, you cannot have the right relationships with other people. It's a love of God that flows in you and through you. So what are you waiting for? Get down to your knees and make some time to be still. Give that main diet time to the Lord. Blessings.